Okay. All righty then. Howdy, y'all. Rüdrani Devi, you know what I'm going to say? The happiness lady. Even wrote a book about it. There's my shameless plug for this little yellow book. There will be another Access book very shortly, but I digress. What do I want to talk about today? Well, right voice for you. I became a CF of Access Consciousness just to facilitate this class. It took me a while to get there. Lots of rules and regulations. You guys have no idea how many prereqs it takes just to be a CF. And then each specialty has one as well. But this is one that is so close to my heart. When Gary first created the class, oh my goddess, he was a young man. He might have been my age. Just saying. I think, yeah, I'm 60, y'all. So just had that birthday this year. And he was teaching a class. There was probably 100 people in this class. But they took a video clip of it and put it on YouTube, and I found it. And I was like, dang. He was working with this little girl, 13 years old, maybe. I don't know, young. She had balls, man. I don't know if that translates, but she had kahunas, like, to get up there because she was scared. And came up to sing a song, wanted to sing a song. And Gary said, okay, get started. And so she's got her microphone. You can see her trembling. And she's like, first I was afraid. I was petrified, thinking that I could live without you being by my side. And he stops her and he runs a little energy on her and he has her start over. Something is visibly changed in her body language. She's like, first I was afraid. I was petrified. But, still not doing the thing, being all of her. And so then they come back the next day, goes, now I want you to not sing at all. And we're going to start with you tomorrow. And so that's exactly what happens. You see her again, and she gets up and she starts to sing the song. And oh my goddess. Now, I'm not saying she, had the perfect pitch or anything. And that's not what Right Voice for You is about. But there she was owning it, First I was afraid, I was petrified. You get where I'm going with this. And I thought, dang, shebang bang. If I could do that for people in Nashville, Tennessee, where there are a lot of singer-songwriters, and let me tell you something about singer-songwriters. Most singer-songwriters, they're really good at songwriting, but they're not so good at singing. Not all of them anyway. Some of them are lucky enough to be, the kind that can pull energy and have an audience. So I started begging Gary Douglas to make this a specialty class that I could teach. Now, y'all, I wasn't a CF at the time. I was a bars facilitator, still am, and a body process facilitator, still am. I had no interest in being a certified facilitator of Access Consciousness. Why? Well, I was a film producer and singing in my own band, singing backups for a lot of other bands, making them sound better, playing percussion, electric violin, and I was one of those studio people that got hired pretty much on the daily. I mean, this is before splicing. I mean, this was when it was splicing. This is before they could digitally bend your voice and make anyone sound like a rock star. So I could go in there, not only sing the harmonies, I could write the harmonies, I could double them, and I'd be in and out of the studio, within 40 minutes. And they were like, wow, you's good, So I was very busy with my own life, But then when I heard that he was going to actually make it a specialty, I reached out to him again. I'm like, Gary, I want to teach this class. And he's like, well, you have to become a certified facilitator of Access Consciousness. And I'm like, I don't want to be a certified facilitator of Access Consciousness. But something sort of shifted in my world because I had been hosting different facilitators for Foundation. And so finally, one of my friends that was coming to every one that I hosted says to me, you know more than they do about Access. Why are you not teaching this class? And I thought, well, that makes sense. Why am I not making all the money? So what happened next, I managed to get all those prereqs in within 3 weeks. And I found my ass in, where let's see, Puerto Rico. I have to roll my R's. I love saying Puerto Rico. Isn't that beautiful? You know, I got to say it the right way with my right voice. And I went and I became a CF. I came home, taught foundation, 3 more bars classes, and then started taking the prereqs to become a right voice VE facilitator. And by this time, it wasn't just for singers and entertainers and public speakers. It had morphed into this being willing to actually step in and be all of you without apology. It's kind of like a being you on steroids. I'm surprised they haven't married the two and made it like a, I don't know, a hybrid, being you and then right voice for you. And each class is so different because it's the people in the class that create that energy. So I never know what I'm going to get. I taught a class last year, June, I think it was, and it was all singers. Every single person in the class wanted to be a singer. And then I taught an intro. It had like 70 people in it, and it was across the board, man. I was like, I remember this one lady in particular, it was all about being able to be a voice in her family because the men had the voice and she didn't feel like she was seen. Dramatically changed her world and her family's. Because here's the thing, when you're actually willing to be all of you unapologetically, oh my goddess, you're shifting not only your life and living, but all those around you, because you teach people how to treat you. And if you're willing to be the valuable product, well, can you imagine what that's going to create? Lean into that energy for a minute. So do a little exercise with me, and then I want to open for questions. Walls and barriers down. Just ask for them to be lowered. Oh, just obliterate them. Okay. Expand out until the 8 corners of the room. Y'all look good. It's fast. Very cool. Now expand out even further. Let's include this entire earth and everyone and everything in it. Wow. So now the world's inside of you. You're actually bigger than this world. And yet you're willing to play so small. Why would you want to do that? How many times are you the greatest in the room, but never as great as you? And is now the time to change that. So this is infinite being land. And from this energy, space, and consciousness, what is your voice? What is your voice? What's your body telling you? Is it tired of you playing small? Have you been squandering your greatness? And for what reason? Have you ever perceived you as being great? I know that sounds cray-cray, but I'm serious about this. Whew. I got people laughing in the chat. I decided I wanted to go see the chat real quick because I keep seeing it popping in, but I'm not gotta put the big old glasses on. Stay in infinite being land, y'all. Don't go anywhere. Let's see here. Oh, hello from India. Isana is very much Indian. That's funny. Hi. This is the video. Okay. Ah, Masha, me shining in the world. Yeah. So I'm curious because this is your call, y'all. Do you have a question, or do you want to unmute and tell me what being the right voice could mean for you? What is your body telling you right now? Don't everybody jump at once. Or maybe there's somebody in translation. Come on, y'all really this shy? I don't buy it. Ah, purple S. Were you going to say something, purple S? Goodness gracious. Okay, you have the floor, Masha. You got your hand up.
Hello. Yeah,
Hi.
yeah. I just wasn't so fast with all the clicking and stuff.
Are you naked? I mean, I love the picture, but are you naked? Can you come on?
No, it's just that I have the Russian Zoom on my computer and my phone is charging. That's why.
Oh, I
And to be honest, there is
understand.
no one in the Russian Zoom, so I thought I can also, like, ask a question.
Oh, by all means. What? No Russians?
No,
Where did
no
they go?
Russians.
Shame on them. We're gonna have to spank them. Can you give them the replay later?
I will do that. Okay,
Thank you
let
very
me
much.
let me put you somewhere.
We kind of did
Let me
this on
put
the
you some.
fly. Put me somewhere.
Hey, yeah. Anyway, what is right voice for me? Yeah, really, this shining out in the world, like this shining is in, yeah. Don't be shy to be you, kinda.
But truth, are you really shy?
No,
Hmm.
I pretend to be
Yes,
very,
that's that
very.
part.
Yeah,
That's that piece about playing small that I was talking about.
yeah.
Remember? I'm just going to be demure and don't be shy. I'm going to try to. I mean, if that's the right voice for you in the moment, then by all means, I'll give you an example. I guess it was the day before yesterday. I had to go to a doctor's appointment. I was sick. I wanted to make sure I wasn't contagious before my family came for this American holiday called Thanksgiving, where we all overeat and overdrink and watch football. Well, not all of us. Anyway, and I went into the grocery store, and there were lots of people there because they're all doing their last minute, shopping for Thanksgiving. And I only needed to get like 4 items. But I found that if I was kind of demure, that people would kind of let me in front of them and stuff. So I'd be like, oh, pardon me for my existence. Hope I didn't. Someone said, oh, no, please, please. You could. And I knew that was the part I had to play to create more. Do I actually buy that as real and true for me? Hell no. I also remember being on a call not that long ago where I said, I think it's for another class I'm teaching, relationship done different. But anyway, it was, I was talking to my host for that class that's coming up online if y'all's interested. And I said, I'm also willing to be that person that dresses to the nines and walks into the grocery store when everybody else is wearing their sweatpants and their house shoes, which I see a lot of that now. It's really weird. Since COVID, things have changed a lot. But I'm willing to be that person puffing out my chest and walking through the grocery store like I own the place, and everybody gets out of my way because I'm fine. I wasn't feeling good 3 days ago, so I was doing this. Oh, I can't be. But it also worked. It's kind of like if you can lean into the energy of what your right voice is in every 10 seconds without a point of view and not buying the story, whatever it is, regardless, what could that create? So, Masha,
Yeah.
what would actually happen if you decided to play the size you actually be instead of this finite piece of shit that you've been pretending to be?
What would happen? A turnaround of 180 degree, 180.
That. Did you hear what she said? Say it one more time. I don't know.
A turnaround of
180 degrees.
There you go. Harish
Yeah.
echoed it for you. So everywhere where you guys have not been willing to play big, to do that 180-degree turn and include you in this equation, and all the big five that's keeping you stuck, and the electromagnetics. I don't know if you guys have heard about all that stuff yet, but I'm just going to say it. Are you all ready to give that up now, please?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's turn around.
Yes. Let's renounce, announce, rescind, recant, release, return, destroy, and uncreate all of that silliness times a godzillion. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine. Ooh, fun, pot, shorts, boys, covids, and beyonds. Wow. I think some of you might actually be ready. Who knew? That's kind of crazy. Huh. So, what will it take for you to actually step into all of you, Masha? Begins with a C.
Choice.
There you go.
I was thinking about just do it, but it's kind of his choice. Yeah.
You can choose not to do it.
Yeah.
I like the point of view about that. You know, that's what makes these classes so much fun for me. It's like you'll get as much out of the class as you are willing to get. When you are ready, it will come to you. You know,
absolutely.
I mean, I'm facilitating a 1-day class over 2 days coming up shortly for cheap for me to get me. And I like it over 2 days for 2 reasons. One, I can include people from other countries in their time zone frame, whatever. And I can give you an assignment. So the first day is more about maybe your questions, doing a little energy, just like Gary did with this young lady. And which I wonder how old she is now. She's got to be, well, I don't know. She's definitely not 13 no more. But you know, we start the first day with that. And then the second day is more about you stepping in, showing up, performing, whatever it is, you know? So, well, I didn't actually post that. If you've never heard of the funny sentence Ru just said, oh, yeah, thank you. The clearing statement. Thank you, Alyssa. So that gobbledygook that I just said, for those of you that maybe have never done Access before, that's the clearing statement. And the link is in the chat. Please, by all means, if you don't know about it or you need a refresher, get up on it. That's Dr. Dane here, the co-founder of Access Consciousness, and Simone Millicis, who has a few of the specialty classes, like the Relationship Done Different is one that her and her partner at the time had created. So Brendan Watt. Well, people are still jumping in. It's crazy. I'm still admin y'all in. It's like the more and more boxes are showing up. Y'all tardy. This show started 20 minutes ago. Actually, for some of you, an hour and 20 minutes ago, because we had the wrong time zone, from what I understand. I don't know. The link was made mountain instead of central. That happens. And that's another piece about Right Voice, where there are no mistakes. Sometimes you fuck up and that's okay. And what is that creating for the future? I've got a lot of creations that came from fuck up moments that actually gave me more than if I hadn't have screwed up or whatever. It's really funny how consciousness works and how the universe always has my back. Because I don't get upset when there's a fuck up. I mean, I was literally, does that translate fuck up, screw up, whatever? I hope. Okay. So I remember one time I was singing with this band. I was doing the background vocals, and I had this one note that goes over all the other notes. And I couldn't make it to the last rehearsal because I was teaching a class in another state or something. And so what I ended up doing, I didn't know that they had shortened the song. And I'm singing that note. And I'm singing that note, y'all, like I am emoting. All the stuff right here. And I kind of open my eyes and I'm looking around and I notice that the band has stopped playing. The lead singer has stopped singing and all the background vocals except for me, but I'm still, so I'm like this. And then all of a sudden I really belted out. And then I was like, well, finally I get a solo. And everybody laughed and we carried on. And even the lead guy singer was like, man, you really pulled yourself out of that one. I said, well, I don't get embarrassed. Not when I'm on stage performing. I don't know why I don't have that bone. I was shocked when I was first taking the classes because I had to actually take a couple of classes. Let's see, where's this thing? Sorry, all of a sudden you guys disappeared. There you are. I had to take 2 classes from 2 different Right Voice for You facilitators. And then I had to take a master class. And I was shocked at how people would, just like this little girl, just trembling, you know? So what do I get out of it? Seeing you soar means a world to me. If I can change one person's life in that class, I've done my job. So but you'll get as much as you're ready to receive. Yes, Dr. Sasha, you have the floor.
You're already changing our lives with this call. Thank you so much.
Ah, you're so welcome. Thank you for being here. And for being the invitation for so many. Please acknowledge, girl, thank you so much.
Thank you. Awesome. I wanted to ask you, so could you talk about being all of you with your voice?
Yeah, so what does that mean to you when you hear those words coming from your lips?
You know, when you were talking right now, what was coming up was like, I've been exploring a lot of like music and playing music and like, you know, teaching myself how to play as well as sing. I know a bit of guitar, but now like moving towards the piano. And yeah, and
Wow.
the
You
one
need to
thing,
come back. We have 2 7-foot grand pianos here, bald ones. They're like
girl,
$1,000 each.
I
They're
know
gorgeous.
you're in your room, and I was looking at it and I was remembering the time I was there. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And quite literally, like what comes up is like this. I don't want to say fear because I fucking know what fear is, but it's not even fear. It's like this, like not wanting to be seen.
Is that even yours though?
No.
No. Yeah, that's not reading, honey. And can you acknowledge that you're actually, I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, it's just not reading. You know, here you are learning guitar and piano. Are you self-teaching or are you taking lessons or what's going on?
Self-teaching.
I love it. So you're already doing it. You're already showing up. You're showing up for you. What if you were only doing it for yourself? What if it didn't matter if anybody else could receive you or not?
Yeah, okay, I can have that.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I'm not a one-size-fits-all kind of gal. You know, every time I audition for The Voice, and they've asked me, I've done this 8 or 9 times now, I go in unapologetically, usually sing some kind of torchy song, you know, like Natural Woman or I'm just trying to think off the top of my, the last one I sang was At Last by Etta James. Do y'all know that song?
At last. Yeah.
It's such a beautiful song. And yet it's not my era at all. You know, I'm willing to do whatever calls me, whether people like it or not. I mean, I'm a funk R&B artist. If you go to rurocks.com, RUROCKS.com, those are a few of my original tunes. And, you know, it's funny when I send people there, everybody has a different favorite. My favorite is, I have 2 favorites. Get on the Dance Floor. Love that song. Where I tap dance in the middle of it. Not on that track, but performing it. And then the other one is I Want to Know, which is talking about sex. It's a fun song. But not everybody can receive it. I mean, my nephew blushed when he heard Get on the Dance Floor, which is also about sex.
And there's like another question, like with my body, there's a lot of times when there's a lot of intensity around my throat.
Oh.
And I kind of wondered if there were any questions I can start asking before the class.
Yes. So first of all, when do you notice this intensity around your throat? When you say intensity, because that's an interesting word, can mean a lot of things. You know, sometimes intense is like in sex, it's a good thing. We go back with the sex. But intensity, you know, with pain is not necessarily a good thing. But the good thing about intensity with pain or fear is that your body's trying to tell you something. But we go to the wrongness of it. We never go to the, oh, wow, my body's trying to tell me something. Cool, body, what are you trying to tell me? So when do you notice it? What actually shows? Do you notice that there's something that shows up in your world, maybe even like right before, maybe you're getting like you're psychic, and so you get the intensity, and then like an hour later it shows up or something like that. That feels more congruent. So what usually is after the intensity? Yeah, that's actually right.
Well, usually awareness, a lot of it. But like sometimes it could also be like a resistance and a shutdown. That depends on.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That's the energy of it. All right. So truth, are there those around you that would like for you to continue to play small?
Yes, fuck yes. Oh my God, yes. Oh, fuck me.
So you're
Yeah.
picking up them going, who does she think she is? Because they know they can't do it. Return to sender.
And I mean, I've been upping it up a lot for a while now, and I've been perceiving that more and more and more. I just didn't realize that that could get locked in my body. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
Good
you're
to
not psychic at
know.
all.
Oh,
Who are you
not at
trying to
all.
save? Who are you trying to save?
I live in India. Take your guess.
I almost spit coffee, y'all. Oh my God. I gotta take a moment. Yeah, I remember India. I was there once. I don't know if any of y'all
Yeah.
know my story, but I was in India for a peace, love, and understanding meditation retreat and got shot by terrorists. Thank God for those terrorists, man. They got me out of a lot of shit that I had been wanting to get out of. Because here's the thing, if you want to change your world, it's going to show up, you know, because you create your life, man. Every bit, the good, the bad, the ugly, you do. And I was in a bad marriage. I had a partnership in a business where she was showing up high and coked out and drunk, the same clothes. I mean, we were a holistic clinic. here's my yoga teacher showing up, you know, smelling of booze and marijuana and all the stuff. I'm not knocking it. Fine, get your freak on, whatever. But you know, there's a place for it, whatever. So, goodness gracious, all this time, yeah. So anyway, I got shot by terrorists, had to close all that down, and got out of a bad marriage. Learned how to walk again. I was in a wheelchair for, I'm sorry, translators. I just went into hyperspeed. Was in a wheelchair for a couple of years, and then I ran the Boston Marathon. And then I got very poorly because I couldn't run as fast as I used to be able to run. And then I had written my first book, and then I wrote the second book, For the Love of Running. The first book was Soul Survivor. Well, here they is. I wrote this one when I was in a wheelchair. 400 pages. It's a lot of real estate. And then I wrote, isn't this cute? My little bookmark. And then, so ADD. And then I wrote the second book, For the Love of Running, about running the Boston Marathon when you have a shattered leg. You know, it's a much lighter read than the first one, I'll just tell you. But then I was on a book tour, and that's how Choosing Happiness happened, because they were like, you lost everything. Why are you a crazy lady? And I said, well, I'm still here. I'm still here. And the beauty of getting shot, it sounds so weird to say it that way, but there's beauty in everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. All of my life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. It really does. There I was floating above my body, and it didn't look good, but I had this sense of communion that I had never felt before. And I didn't tell people that I had out-of-body experiences because I didn't want them to judge me. She's lying, or have all these people want me to save them. Because you get kind of, those are the two that have a tendency to show up and, when they think you're a prophet or something. It's so weird. But, I had this sense of communion I'd never had before. And my talents and abilities became exponentialized. Like, I am so freaking psychic that I know my thoughts are not mine. Okay. I'm not going to take on people's stuff. I look at somebody and I know their whole life story. It's energetically speaking, right? But this kid just came up to the microphone because you lost everything. Your husband left you, had a family with somebody else. You almost lost your house. You couldn't, you can't run like you used to run. And I mean, I was a professional amateur athlete, y'all. I got paid to run 10 marathons, 300, 200 half marathons, something like that. I don't remember exactly. I got a lot of medals. And I thought, oh, you know why? Because I had these tools. I had the tools of access consciousness. This is basically the 10 keys reworked. I talked about how they worked for me personally, and I dedicated it to the two men that created access consciousness, because I wanted to make their lives easier. I mean, they keep telling us to quit trying to explain what access consciousness is to people, which is a movement for those of you that maybe don't know, because you sound like you belong to a cult. And maybe we do belong to a cult. I don't know. Wherever two or more gathered, they say, I don't care. I don't even have a point of view about that word. I'm just in it for consciousness. So this book was created for people that don't know how to tell their families what they're doing, and they can go, here you go. If you really want to know what I'm doing, it's in this here book, which speaks several languages now. So, and if you want it in your language, reach out and touch someone, being me, and we'll figure it out. Because I just want to get that little yellow book out there in the world. I just want consciousness. And then here's right voice view. I want people to step up. I want them to be all of who they be. So when you're getting an intensity in anywhere of your body, when you've got to step up, you've got to begin to ask the questions. First of all, is this mine? Someone else's or something else's? If it's yours, what energy, space, consciousness, magic, miracles, mysteries, and possibilities can me and my body be to perceive, know, be, and receive all of this with total ease? All the big five and energetics, keeping that from happening. I renounce, announce, rescind, recant, release, return, destroy, and uncreating all that. Times a godzillion, pod and pock. Or you can just go, that thing Rudrani said. If it's yours, get yourself out of it. That is, that's programming, y'all. Because this reality is all about keeping you small. If it's someone else's, return to sender with loving kindness and awareness attached, so that they can actually, if they choose to, create something greater in their world. And if it's something else's, it's probably the planet needing a little facilitation. And that's easy. That's 3s and 4s. So why don't we all right now contribute to Mother Earth, who gives without asking, right? So 3 is for creating the future, or creating what's required. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 for what that's going to create in the future. There we go. Now notice how your body feels when we do that little contribution. I don't need the heater anymore. There we go. How does it get any better? It's amazing because it's reciprocal. When you contribute to the earth, she contributes right back to you. Now imagine you contributing to the world with your voice. All those people that have been waiting to hear you, but you haven't been willing to step up and be all of you. I don't know why I got so emotional all of a sudden. It's just, I know how great you are. Do you know is the question. I might be a little tired too, because I've had family here and I've been sick, but seriously, what would it take? What will it take? Let's do it present tense. What will it take for you to step up? You know, if you're afraid of something, Gary says this all the time. In Dane too, I've heard him say it, that if something is making your butt itch or is making your body feel intense, it's probably something you need to walk towards and explore, because you're ready. If something scares you to death, walk into the death of it, walk into the fear of it, and you'll see that there is nothing there but you. Only you can stop you. Only you. So it's just a choice. You know? My ask is that everyone chooses greater. Now, if you're not ready, I am not going to push you. You will get as much as you want to receive, should you choose this class. And it, in my interesting point of view, is the most phenomenal class in Access Consciousness. Because you change. You change. I mean, you change you. You stop making yourself this finite piece of shit. You teach people how to treat you. And, you know, no more of this doormat stuff, man. Why? Why would you choose that? Is now the time. The bird, sorry. I have this little teacup fountain out there and the birds love it. They think it's their little personal bird baths, and I guess it is now, because that's what they all do. Did I have it when you were here, Sasha? I don't know if I had it yet.
I think so, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little hazy to me too.
Little cups that pour into other little cups. So cute. It's very zen. Very meditative. House has changed a lot. Got a new sunroom. We trade bars in there on the monthly. And then the whole backyard has been redone, landscaped, hot tub. Oh, girl. It's fabulous. I had to do something. They made us stay home. You know? Wow. So did we answer your question?
Yeah, you did. I'm so grateful.
Oh,
Thank you.
me
And
too. That wasn't
it's
just
really,
for you, honey.
yeah, I know. And it's really such a gift to hear it like from someone other than yourself sometimes as well.
I know. I had an hour-long conversation with Betsy McLaughlin. I've just not been available to her. I've got a TV show thing I'm working on where, oh my God, I'll be coming to India. Sasha, did I tell you about this? I think I did.
You did.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're going to do the pilot in India, and I'm going to interview other people that have had near-death experiences. And the working title right now is called Unexplained Miracles. Because I know I'm a walking, talking miracle, y'all. I know it. I know it. I acknowledge it. I know the greatness I be. And for goodness sakes, I mean, I just had a big old house full of family and did not give up 1 ounce of myself the entire time and didn't have a meltdown and was able to be grateful for every single one of my siblings. You know, it was a different world because I was willing to be all of me. I was willing to be different than I had been. Yep. Try
Thank
it.
you so
Thank you. Anyone else? It's your call.
How to know near-death experiences?
How do you know what
Near-death experience.
now? Miracle?
ND.
Somebody translate him.
Are you asking how does she know near-death experiences?
Oh. Well, Harish, I wasn't in my body anymore. I was above it. And then, okay, so I was raised Catholic. I don't go to church. I am church. Okay. I'm a walking, talking meditation. I don't need church to show me who I be. And when I was a child, I would sit in front of the Blessed Mother. This is when I did go to church because my parents made me. And I would do the rosary. And it's a lot like, you know, the beads, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, you know, the 100, what is it, 106, 7 beads? I don't remember now. It's so funny because I used to do that. But I was doing a different mantra with the rosary, saying the rosary. And I remembered looking up at the statue and she animated herself to me. Her eyes opened, like they were open, but they really opened. And then she started talking to me telepathically. 108. Thank you. Thank you so much for telling me. I remember I have several of these prayer beads because I followed a guru for 21 years, y'all. That's why I was in India. But you know, if you want to know more, get the first book. It's all about that. So she opens her eyes and then she telepathically says to me, because I was going to marry Jesus. I was going to be a nun. I know. Wasting this. And she said, you have something greater. You have something greater in the world than to limit yourself to this, I'm going to put it in quotes, religion. Because it was all telepathic. It wasn't, I mean, I am clairaudient, but it wasn't necessarily words, it was an energy. Okay, so then she shows up again, Harish, when I'm floating above my body. At first, I couldn't tell who it was. And then the energy was there again. I went, oh, I know you. And she said, well, now's the time for you to choose. If you decide to go back in that body, you can make a difference. But if you would rather stay here, that's your choice. And then I was like, fuck, now I don't have a choice. You put it that way, I'm going to have to go. The fifth element, the Mother Teresa syndrome, I like to call it, where I wanted to save the world. It wasn't asking to be saved. But I didn't know that at the time. And so that's when the long process started. But Harish, I floated out of my body many times. many times. That's how I identified the terrorists to the FBI, because I saw what they were wearing. I said they look like children. You know, one of them was wearing a Nike shirt and had a ball cap, and they all had backpacks and all this arsenal. I couldn't see them face down under the table, but I floated above and I could see what was going on. They shot an entire wedding. This whole wedding group had just walked in and they were gone, you know? And it was so weird to be, because here's the thing about oneness. I didn't have a point of view when I was out of my body like that. I actually understood why they did it. They thought they were doing something good. They thought they were sacrificing their lives for their families and that they were going to get all these, I don't know, virgins, the Pakistani, you know, and I, for the first time, I was like, I have no point of view. And I remember I really made some doctors and nurses very angry with me because I told them I'd forgiven the terrorists. And it wasn't even anything to forgive. I mean, they were just being themselves. They were being their voice, which was, you know, in my point of view, they'd been brainwashed. And how many of you are walking around brainwashed by your reality that you chose, by the way? But you can unchoose it. That's what I do. I destroy and uncreate my relationship with myself, with this reality, this planet, my family, everyone and everything in it, including my ex-husband who's now stalking me. So crazy. It's like, dude, really? I destroy and uncreate with this reality, everyone and everything in it. Every day I start anew. What can I be today to be a contribution? Who or what can I be today? For those that are searching to be the greatness they truly be, what could that look like? It's that simple. It's living in the question, y'all. That's my next book, The 4 Sources of Creation. Question, choice, possibility, and contribution. But I notice that a lot of people in Access, although they have that tool, they don't use it. And that's how I create my life every day. Question, choice, possibility, contribution. Okay, granted, I had a lot of sticky notes for a very long time. Y'all want to see some sticky notes? Can you see that on the door? Sometimes you got to remind yourself why you're doing this, or who it is, what it is you're trying to create, or who you be, and all the stuff. Sometimes, hey, you get it when you get it. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're a beautiful light. Here you are. You showed up here to this call. And I can't see everybody on the call because there's people in other chats. But for those of you now and in the future, can you please acknowledge how amazing you are just for showing up for this call, whether you choose this one-day class or not? I mean, I hope to be an invitation for you now or in the future. And if not, that's okay too. Choice. Harish, did I actually answer your question?
Yes.
Cool. Look at that little thumb up. I put my thumb up and it just appeared in my, that's so, I wonder if it'll do a heart. Does it recognize hearts? I guess not. Oh, it did. Everybody do a heart real quick. Oh, now it's not. Come on now. Ah, shoot. What is it? Only one time I can do this? It's all right. Well, goodness gracious. Any more questions? We got time for probably another one.
Hi, Rudrani. I have one.
Oh, well, give it up.
First of all, you're very beautiful. And that is the reason I think your husband stalks you, ex-husband stalks you.
Isn't that crazy? I telling him energetically, I said, you get anywhere near me and you're going to be a dead man. Because I will kill you.
You haven't killed him yet.
Well, energetically, I had sent lots of, daggers. And I'm feeling him less and less. So I think he's getting scared. I'm not that person he thinks I am anymore. I mean, I was a little demure when we got married, but not anymore. No siree. I'm all of me now.
Good.
All of me, why not take all of me? Anyway, another song. Everything's a song. I might break out in song teaching this class. If you can't handle that, probably not the class for you. Wrong class for you. What's your question, honey?
Yeah. So, like we are talking about this showing up. So, what is showing up nowadays? It's so much of social media, so much of access to all the people all the time. And I get, I don't know, I get tired or I get frustrated with it. It's too much for me to handle, to show up every now and then to everyone, and it's not like having worked for 18 years, so that many colleagues and that many people in my life. Now, how do I be in connect all the time with everyone?
Choice. And, how aware are you of everyone else is kind of sick with social media? I mean, I use it for good, not evil. Occasionally I have to delete people because they say stupid shit that I don't align with. Because you know what? I do have points of view. Having a point of view is not a bad thing. It's if you start buying your point of view, because your point of view is going to create your reality. And if you have the point of view that you can't handle the social media, that it's too much, that's what you're going to create. And how aware are you of other people that are kind of sick of social media?
Okay.
Is it even yours, right?
Yeah.
What would happen if you actually changed your point of view about that and made it more about, oh, maybe the one person that is seeking will find me and I will change their world and they'll change somebody else's and so on. That's what oneness is about. It's including the people that make our butt itch. When you can actually be grateful that they show up in your world, no matter how they show up. It's like the ex-husband. I'm grateful that he's letting me know that he's stalking me because he's doing it. He reaches out, he said something on my Instagram. I am have the official check mark. So I'm a public figure there. So I can't really, get upset with people's comments, but I can delete them or whatever. I'd already blocked him and his wife, which I wonder how she would feel. I mean, he cheated with her. He's the one he impregnated while I was in a wheelchair, which is so funny. I wonder how she would feel if she knew he was reaching out to me. But this has been going on and off for about 8 years. And it's ramped up because he's moved back in near the town. I live in Nashville and he's moved closer because he's working in a side town, Brentwood. So he's just stupid shit, and I was aware of something weird happening before I got these texts or whatever. So the only place I don't have him blocked now is on my phone, because that's really invading my personal space. And that way I know what he's up to. And basically he said the last thing was, I need to know that no, that wasn't the last thing. The last thing was, I'm sure that this whole terrorist attack thing going on in the world is shaking you up. And I'm like, I'm not shaken at all. Do I like it? No. But I also know that it's all choice. Everything in your world, including this crazy reality, we chose it. You've got to acknowledge that you actually chose it. Sergi. Okay. There we go. I think I muted Sergi. So it's like, that's pretty cool. I'm doing admin. Alyssa, are you not impressed with me? Anyway, it's this whole thing of how grateful I am that I know he's stalking me because he's showing his colors. The time before that, it was, I wanted to let you know that I've moved back to Nashville, which is a lie because I had my cop friend look into it and she said, nope, he's actually living here. He must be driving in an hour and a half a couple of times a week to work in Franklin down the road from me. But he said he moved back here and that he ran into a colleague of ours from the past and it shocked them to see him. And so should he ignore me if he sees me out in the world, or should he come up to me? And I'm like, I am not going to answer that. I mean, it's a trap. That's a trap. But I am grateful that he's stupid enough to make me aware that he's around. And so now put a police report on him and, If he continues to do this, eventually, restraining order or whatever. I'm not afraid of him. I'm not afraid of death. I've already been there. You don't ever really die, is what I discovered. You become one source consciousness. And for me, I don't know if this is true for everybody. For me, it put me in a space of, I don't even know how to put it. It's like we're all so different, but we all come from the same space. And even if I don't agree, I'm not going to resist and react anymore. There's no point in doing that. What if I were to embrace the differences, even if I didn't agree with them? Because if you can't poke a marshmallow, man. If you're in that space of being able to receive it all, the judgments, the good, the bad, the ugly, then it's easy for you to be your voice because you're not letting all the noise drown you out anymore. Does that make sense? I don't know if I answered your question. Did I?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're just aware of all the noise, honey.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
So,
Thanks.
you're so welcome. Instead of doing this, walls and barriers down, get as big as the earth, bigger. And it's funny. It's like it's like a drop in the ocean, right? If you're this drop in this ocean of this reality that you chose. And when you're that space, it's amazing how the ocean just takes care of you. I liken it to if you have a goldfish bowl and you put a drop of ink in the goldfish bowl, goldfish probably going to go belly up because that's poison. But if you put a drop of ink in the ocean, fish aren't even going to know it's there. Can you be that? I'm always like, I want to be like a tree. Tree never says, I'm looking at a tree right now and she's beautiful. Hi, tree. Hi, two squirrels have been chasing each other around my tree. A tree never says, I'm having a bad leaf day. The tree doesn't say, oh my gosh, my branches are going to suffocate all those little trees that are trying to grow under me. The tree doesn't say, I wish the woodpecker would stop putting holes in me. The tree doesn't say, hey, squirrels, get your asses off of my branches. Tree doesn't have that point of view. Tree's just treeing. What if we were more like trees and we just be who we be? Do you even know what that is? Do you know what your right voice is? This class is a safe place. I'm going to use those words. I know there's nothing that, we don't need to be saved or safe from anything, but it's a safe place, put it in quotes, for you to journey that possibility. So if you're willing to go there with me, if you're ready, I'm ready for you. How's that? Did I do okay, y'all? You'll get a replay. If you signed up for it, you're here. You'll get a replay. Even those in the future, because some people couldn't actually be on the call. We actually moved the call an hour later, which is why there was a confusion, so that we could have translation, which I don't even know if we needed it now. But even those people will get it in the future. Masha, are you going to translate it into German for later for the German peeps? Or actually, it's Marguerite that's going to translate, I think.
Yes, I'm translating. I'm here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, all the translators.
You're welcome.
I'm so sorry if I spoke a little quickly. Sometimes I get excited. I've had to learn to slow me down. It's hard to slow this down. Just saying. So.
No, Rudrani was in when I translated in. He was just speeding up, and he was, and then he said, "And now, translators, what did you do? Did you just get more present?" And that was exactly what it was.
Oh my goddess, that's smart. And he takes the blame off of himself. I love it. Win-win. That's so beautiful. Thanks for sharing that with me. Huh. I'll acknowledge.
So welcome.
Yeah. Oh, I love the laughing one. I didn't know they had that. I'm going to look for it. Where's the laughing guy? Yeah. Laughing. Zoom. Aren't they cute? All right, y'all. Well, I was only going to go for about 30 minutes, but evidently, can't control it. I'm giving you more bang for your buck. So if you're curious about this class, reach out to whoever it was that invited you to this free Zoom. We actually have another one later today for in the evening when I think a lot of you are going to be in bed already. But if you signed up for it, you can get that replay too. How does it get any better? What else is truly possible with your voice? Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I hope to see you in the class or something in the future or in the world in person. And I might be coming to India soon. So what could we create in person? Well, we could create a full length Right Voice for You class in India. That's what we could do. It's a 2.5-day class, but you got to take that one in person. The one day you can do online. You're so welcome, Harish. Thank you all for showing up. I am truly grateful for each and every one of you. And thank you for showing up in the world. We need you. We need you now. Ciao, ciao.